So we are back with another Vietnam Captain Knight, where we continue the House of Knightley with Captain Knightley and Commander Arhat. They are on planet Barolia, continuing the battle of Captain Gom'rok's devious ways and his people and what they're doing and trying to destroy Knightley's colony planet where she was born and raised. And they got to the point where they stopped, like, essentially the Klingon crew from detonating and destroying the colony and then doing whatever they want with the planet. They got that part done, but where we left off was Knightley had disappeared into the air as the glowing red shimmer encased her body and she faded away. So before we see where she ended up, what you there are standing there with her father Tobias, and you've both seen this. You see Tobias kind of like reach out and try to like touch the like wispy parts of the red, but there's nothing to grab.
It's so sad.
What would you like to do in
I
these?
think if there's any way from where we are, if there's any way to contact people that I need to talk to, because I do have a communicator, right?
Yep, yep.
First thing I would do is I would try and contact the ships, find out what's going on, and see if they know what happened to the captain.
Okay, yeah. So you open up your communicator, and you immediately try to hail the Qel'Thoq, Gowry's ship, and you can hear it go through. You hear like you're broadcasting a signal, but you're not getting anything. There's nobody's picking up on the other end.
Great. I'm going to try the other ship as well, just to see. I highly doubt they'll answer me, but I'm going to try the other ship as well.
So I'm just gonna say that you do the same and do that, and it's also, but you don't even hear like it's connecting. You just hear, you get the feeling that you're not even connecting to the ship.
So I turn to Tobias and I tell him we need to get back to town and we need to try and figure out what's going on.
Absolutely, we got to find a way to get to her in some manner.
Yep. We either need a ship or we need help. And since
Well,
my help isn't answering, we need to look for a ship.
yeah, exactly. I agree. So because you went down on a shuttle, you know that you can basically make your way there and try
Yep.
to get up to
Yep.
the ship, get off it.
Well, I'd also ask Tobias if there's any better ships than a small shuttle on the planet.
No,
Didn't think so.
they're not like a exploratory colony. They stay on the planet.
Yep. Figure it couldn't hurt to ask.
No, yeah, no, that's a good question. So he says, "Okay, let's head back because I can still hear
Mm.
fire exchange. So let's head back." So you guys begin your semi distance back to where the fighting was when you last left. And while you're taking that journey, we'll cut to the captain. So you, captain, were standing there and looking at your father in our hat and kind of like, wiping the sweat from your brow that how close you guys were to Barolia probably not being a thing anymore, and not only your parents being killed and yourself and our hat, but like everything that you grew up knowing. And just as you were kind of like formulating a plot, an idea of what to do next, all of a sudden you just like this white kind of reddish, like white and red flash came over your eyes. And the next thing you know, you're standing in a dark room that's lit but not well lit. And let's have you roll security insight difficulty one.
I got one success.
Okay. As everything is kind of coming into place, you're realizing that you are on a Klingon ship. And as you're coming together, you see a Klingon who does not look like anybody from Gowry's ship is standing at a transporter console. And you can see him make eye contact with you. And he says, "Who are you? How did you get here?"
I'm Captain Knightley of the USS Drake, and I was taken here by you.
We were getting reports that the outpost was being attacked, and I transported the only Klingon signature I could find near the outpost.
Who are you?
I am Bomek, transporter chief of the Kokur.
Send me back down.
No, you are the enemy, and I'm going to kill you.
All right, I'll pull out my phaser and shoot him in the face.
Okay, roll me fitness, security, difficulty 2, and then we'll go from there.
You gotta be kidding me. Fitness and security.
Yep.
Dude, I got him. I had very low, I had a 12 and I got a 10 and a 12.
Okay, then roll me security control, difficulty 2.
I have two threes.
Okay, what is your security number?
4.
So you somehow like completely surprise this Klingon that you're gonna pull out your laser weapon and you fire and you hit him. He doesn't go down, but you've completely knocked him off balance. He is like fully messed up.
Did I mention I had it set to kill?
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna let you do it again because that number of succession of successes would allow you to go again.
Okay. Well,
Difficulty 2.
I have 0 and I also got a 20.
So I'll say with that, you fire, but you hit the transporter console, and you clearly have messed up the transporter console.
Cool.
And so now
Cool.
he's going to shoot at you because you didn't do anything to him. Okay. Okay, so you get 1 stress.
Okay.
And now it's back to you to do it again. Security control. Difficulty 2.
Well, now I have a critical success and a
Excellent.
2. So I have two
And
successes. So I have 3 successes.
3 successes. That's excellent. So you hit him, and he just goes like, "Wah!" He just like, the classic explosion of Klingons getting shot, and he goes slams against the wall. The smoke is rising from him. He is completely knocked out. What would you like to do, Captain?
I would like to try to see if I can use their communicators to contact Arhat.
Okay, yep, that's fine.
Okay.
So as you're running back to like where the craziness of the colony fighting Klingons, your communicator goes off, Mike.
I would say, Commander Arhat, come in.
Captain, where are you?
I've been transported to Gom'rok's vessel, and I've just taken down the transport officer. But in the struggle, I think I took out the transporter, so I can't come back. But I'm okay. I'm just stuck up here at the moment.
Are you under fire at the moment?
There's nobody else in this
No, there's
room.
nobody in the room. No.
So I would say to him, there's nobody else in the room. I took out the one guy. Let me see if I can lock myself in this room so nobody else can come in. So is there like controls that I can?
If you go over to the door, yep.
Okay, so I would like to do that.
So you go over to the door. Use engineering insight 1.
Okay, I have 1 success.
So you can see next to the door there are 2 different panels. One seems to be like the door lock, like a door mechanism that was either going to lock it or open it or anything of that nature. And then there's another button next to it. You kind of feel like maybe that's like an emergency, like you would hit that button to set the ship into like red alert.
Okay, because have I picked up any Klingon like in the months that I've been with?
You've definitely been able to kind of put together some symbols. Like that's why it was a low insight roll. It wasn't.
Okay,
I
cool.
mean, you don't fully know a lot of things, but you've seen enough of like
Enough
open,
to kind of.
alert, like
Okay.
simple words you can kind of put together.
Okay, so yeah, I would like to lock the door.
And so, just as you are about to press it, you see the door open, and the Gore from the second vessel is there, and he says, "Captain," and then the door shut on his face, and you
Yes.
lock the door.
Is there like a window?
No.
No.
Oh, so I would just let Arhat know that like I've just seen Dagor. So I'll open the doors back up, but I
Okay.
have my phaser still in my hand.
And he says, "What is happening?" And you can see him. He is like holding his stomach.
No, I'll say I was transported up here against my will.
And then he looks over and sees the smoldering, smoking Klingon body.
So then I ask him, what
Okay.
happened to you?
We're trying to take the Coqueur. I heard phaser fire and I came here.
So I'll just go up to him and check out his guts and see how bad it is. Because I
So
do have
roll,
some medical training.
yep, so roll medicine, reason, difficulty, 1. It's not really.
2 successes.
Okay, so you get a momentum. So I think that puts you guys at 4 momentum. So if you want to track that somehow. So he says, you look at him and you can clearly tell that he's been shot a couple times and he's been stabbed multiple times. And if you could find medical equipment, you probably could stabilize him.
Okay.
But you also know from Klingon, like just your own personal
Yes.
experience as a mixed race person, and also just being on a Klingon ship for very long extended things. He might die, but it's gonna take a minute. He's not like in an imperative death. He's probably if he
Plus,
didn't get medical attention within the next like 12 hours, he probably would die.
plus he probably doesn't really want medical attention.
Maybe you don't know unless you
Okay.
ask.
So yes, I will. I'll ask him. I said, have you seen the med bay?
I believe it is a deck below us, but I'm not sure.
You seem like you need some. You need a few hypo sprays.
I have slain many, but I am tired.
Do I have any sort of hypo sprays on me? Probably not, right? 'Cause
Not unless you want to spend two momentum and say that you brought some with you.
No. So why don't I tell him like let's like I'll ask him, do you have any engineering capabilities? This console broke in the struggle and I if we could beam ourselves back down to the planet, my mother could help you.
I can take a look at it, but Captain, he
Okay.
says, and he pulls a blade out of his like belt, and he hands it to you with a bloodied hand, and he says to you, "Gowrie is on the bridge fighting Gom'rok.
Okay.
You should go to the bridge."
Yeah. All right. So I would tell him to try to repair the transporter system and get down to Barolia and see my mom. And then we can beam me back up to keep fighting, but like you need medical help first. And I'll head to the bridge.
I will do the best that I can.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. He can do what he wants. He's not, I don't have any
Exactly.
control over the guy. So I would head to the bridge and I would tell Arhat what I'm about to do.
So you, Arhat, you hear that, and you've pretty much come upon the battle sequence. Like you're back where it is.
Did we come up behind them, or
You're back.
are we in front of them?
So you've come on the side of the colonists. You are on the side where they're holding ground and firing at the rest of them. I just got to
How many Klingons are still fighting?
roll me a security reason difficulty 2.
I got one.
Okay, so you're not 100% sure, but there's quite a number of them.
Okay.
So you come crouching down to the edge of the barricade that the colonists have put up, and they're like, "Tobias, we're holding them back, but I don't know how much longer we can really do this. I just feel like eventually they're gonna outnumber, they're just gonna outflank us, and then that's it. We're gonna fall apart." But I don't know. Maybe if we just kept some more fire on them, maybe we'll get them. What's your suggestion, Tobias? And Tobias, he hesitates and then he kind of looks at you, Commander, and he's like, "Listen, I know that it's going to put you in a bad position, Commander, but you've been in way more combat situations than I have.
Do we have access to any more of the grenades?
We might have a couple left, but I think we exhausted most of the ones we had from the armory."
That's what I thought. I would look around and see if I could get a good vantage point just because I'm able to snipe from a bit farther distance.
Yeah.
If I can get higher and keep low, better vantage point to see what I'm working with.
Okay, so we'll put you like in this area that's in the behind the barricade, but you can kind of like see far enough. You can kind of see where they're coming from. I'm going to
Yeah.
send you guys 2 pictures.
Okay.
This is what you see.
Cool. There's like rock looking people.
So literally what our hat sees is on your side, you're seeing that you have like wood and rocks and like random house pieces as their barricade.
Yeah.
And the Klingons' barricade are like rocks and bushes and dead Klingon bodies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of wanted you to see that's sort of what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of them
There's a lot.
kind of grouped together.
Yep.
I would look behind us and see the best vantage point where I could get up, like maybe on top of a roof.
Okay, I like it. Yeah.
That way I can stay low, but it would give me a good vantage point where I'd be looking slightly down at them.
I like this. So what directions do you give to Tobias and any of like the colonists that are near you?
Do any of the other colonists have what could be used for sniper rifles?
They have rifles. They don't have sniper rifles, but they do have longer rifles than just like a hand pistol.
Yep, but not necessarily sniper capability.
Not really. You have like maybe at best like a hunting rifle kind of a thing. At
Yeah.
best.
What does Tobias have?
He just has like a
Hand phaser.
a phase pistol.
I'd ask him if he can get a hold of a rifle.
He says, "Yeah, I think I can get one right from here." And he kind of crouches down the line and he goes down and he gets it from it. one of the other colonists, and he just gives him.
He swaps.
Yeah, he swaps.
I would tell him, I want you as my spotter,
Okay.
but I want you to also be able to fire if necessary.
Okay. Yep. Not a problem. And he says, "I'm with you." And he tells these guys to just keep holding them back as best you can.
Yeah.
So let's have you roll security, reason, difficulty 1.
I got 1.
So while you're laying on your back and you're kind of like looking at the colony, like all the gunfire is behind you and you're looking backwards,
Yep.
you can see there's a couple houses that if you can find a way to get up onto them, you could easily lay on your stomach and take some good shots before they probably caught on that you're up there.
Right. I'd look around, see what kind, if there's any type of ladders or anything that would help me get up, or if there's just a building with stuff stacked next to it that we could climb up.
Okay. So Tobias kind of catches on that what you're doing, and he says, "There's a ladder in the back, but you probably to pull yourself up onto the you're gonna have to like pull yourself up onto the roof. It probably won't go right up against the roof from the angles at which you're trying to get to hide from them, because you can get it from the low part, but they would see you as plain as day."
Yeah.
He says, "Do you want me to go drag that ladder over to the back part?" And
Yeah, I'll help you grab the ladder. That way the two of us can move it quickly.
got it. So you two move to the back. There's a couple disruptor fires. They're kind of close to, you can hear them shouting and stuff. But you guys kind of manage to blend in really quick because you're close to like the colony site. So Tobias immediately leads to the ladder. He knows exactly where it is. He doesn't even have to like search for it. He knows where it last was left, and he finds it. And he props it up against the back of the house, and he says, "Okay, you first or me first?"
I'll go up first.
Okay. So you go, and it comes up, and it's about, if you go to the very top rung, you can get like the first like knuckle curl of your finger on the edge of the roof.
So I'm going to have to do a slight jump and do a pull up.
Yeah. You're going to have to do like a little bit of a pull up kind of hop. Yeah.
I would leave my gun down with him so that I can do this.
That's smart.
I climb up.
Yeah.
I would do the, like I said, the slight jump, and I'm hanging.
Okay.
And I would pull myself up and just look, make sure that no fire is coming at me.
No, so you do that. It's a little strenuous, but it's not bad because you work out and stuff. You're a fit guy.
Mhm.
So you pull and you look. Nope, it seems like all of the fire is being shot at the barricade down below. Like you can't see the barricade, but you can see that's where they're shooting below the building.
Right. So I would pull myself up.
Yeah.
In my hands like this, push,
Yeah.
and I could lean forward and slide.
Yeah, do that like whole slide. Yeah, I understand. So roll me a fitness security, just difficulty 1. I don't think it would be that challenging for you.
I got 2.
Okay, so you get another momentum. So kind of effortlessly, because probably the adrenaline is going, or whatever Andorians have in replacement of adrenaline. You pull yourself fully up, and you are on your stomach on the roof. And no, not a single disruptor fire is being anywhere near your head or your butt. Nothing is coming up here.
Yeah. I would still be laying. I would turn around. I'd tell him to hand up the weapons.
Yep. So he
So I
comes
can
up.
get the weapons up on top of the roof.
Yep, no problem, because he can just reach up and do it, and you can take it.
Yep. Then I would tell him, I'm going to help you.
Okay.
But you're going to have to do this.
Okay. So you roll security presence, and you're going to do an assist roll, and he's going to roll security fitness. I'm going to make it difficulty 2 for him because he's a worker, but he's doing something a little outside of his norm.
Yep.
He's not a weakling. It's just not something he does regularly.
Don't you dare insult my father.
No, he's not. Okay, he got 2 successes.
And I got 1 success.
Perfect. So that's another momentum. You're probably maxed.
Yep, I am now maxed.
So, honestly, I guess his farmer arms and he's pretty good. He's a pretty sturdy guy, and you both get up there kind of relatively easy, and it's really not. It's kind of impressive of how quickly you guys got up there.
How do you think Knightley knows how to climb trees so good, huh?
So now you're both up there. He takes back his weapon, and he's like, he just kind of gives you the face of like, whatever you need, I'll do whatever.
We both will lay down. We'll be looking at the Klingons.
Okay.
And I would tell him to be my spotter. Make sure that there are no Klingons out and about. Keep an eye on where they are.
Yep.
Because once I focus on one guy and shoot, I will be focusing on that guy, and I won't know exactly what's happening on everything else.
Makes sense. Makes total sense. So you guys kind of shimmy and get to like points where you can kind of look out really well and not, fully reveal yourself. And you can see from everything that there are some Klingons who are trying to kind of like trail off to the sides to flank the barricade, but they're not quite doing that because that's kind of been a failed strategy for the last like hour or two since you've been down here on the planet.
Yep.
And so they're kind of generally gathered in one large-ish. They're a little spread out, but they're mostly in like one confined area. They're really trying to like dig in with their barricade, basically.
Yeah. If there's one is kind of looking off to the side like he wants to go, I would want to pick him off first because he wouldn't see where it's coming from.
Okay. Yeah, we'll roll. There's totally a couple Klingons on the edge of this group that easily could be picked off. Your second shot will be into the middle of the group.
My second shot will be at the middle of the group
I like it.
to try because the first one will be shot, and it's like, well, he was off to the side, not paying attention, got picked off.
Right.
But then having a second shot in the middle of the group, my thinking is it will really throw them into chaos because okay, he got picked off, and then person in the middle got picked off. What's going on?
I love it. So roll me security control, difficulty 2.
I will be using my quick to action.
Okay, great. Okay, yep, to get those two in a row. I like it. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm going to have Tobias assist you.
If Tobias on the second shot wants to get himself take aim, I'm going to fire first, and then on my second shot, I'm going to tell him to try a shot himself.
Nice. Okay.
That will give him extra time to try and line up to get the best shot possible. Okay. And I'll tell him which ones I'm going to go for if he wants to try for a separate one.
Cool. Okay. Yep.
So first one, I got 2 successes.
Excellent. So you're looking out there. Tobias doesn't really aid too much with this at all. He kind of just is like, I see a guy, but you already saw him. And boom, right? You take him. The other Klingons notice that he goes down, but they don't put together that obviously it came from the top of the building. Now you can roll again. And Tobias will know. You want him to attack, so I'll wait till you go.
Yep. And I got another 2 successes.
Great.
It helps that I'm rolling a 16 here.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so Tobias got 2 successes as well. He got a 1.
Nice.
So he takes out a guy as well. So now what we will do is we will engage you in an extended task of dealing with these Klingons. You've engaged them fully.
Yep. So, and every now and then, just make sure you kind of roll for the guys down below who are also shooting.
Yeah, and I will.
Because they do have a chance
they certainly
to hit something, especially with how much chaos we're throwing into the mix.
Yep, and now I have Tobias. So what we're going to do is this play. So the Klingons, I'm going to completely ignore their turn of shooting back at you because they don't know you're up there. But now after you do this third exchange, they're going to fire back. So you're going to get one more time, and we're going to have it a big roll. And it's security control difficulty 3 because you're going to be taking out multiple. You're trying to take out as many Klingons as possible before they catch on.
I'm going to buy a dice.
Yeah.
We had full momentum. I'm using 1.
Yeah.
Because I am rolling 16.
Yeah.
But it's helpful to have that extra dice.
Yep, we got it, so better to use.
I don't think I have a focus that I can use. One of them fell out. I have 3 successes.
Awesome.
5, 7, and 8.
Okay.
Awesome.
You have a success from Tobias. You have a success from the people down at the bottom, and you got 3 successes, so you don't need to re-roll them because he rolled an effect which would allow you to re-roll, but you don't need to. So, what is your security number?
My security number is 5.
So that's 7 with Tobias and the colonists.
Yep.
So you take out 5 Klingons in this exchange. Okay. Let's have you do it one more time, and then we'll cut to Knightley. So let's do it one more time. Okay. Same exact thing. Security control, difficulty 3.
I'm going to do the same thing where I'm buying 1 dice. Because that way, if everybody else screws up, at least I have a good chance of succeeding.
Yep.
I have 3 successes.
Okay, you only have one success from the colonists. Tobias doesn't hit, so that's 6. So you get 4 more Klingons.
Okay.
And there we go.
And I'm sure taking out 10 Klingons in short succession will all of a sudden throw up red flags with them.
Yes. Okay. But yeah, you know what? Let's do that before. That makes sense. I'll resolve it. So now I have to roll my bit. Well, amazingly, they don't get anybody down on in the colony barricade. But a couple shots go up to you, but you're at cover, so you will take 1 stress.
Okay.
Okay, Adri, you are now going through the corridors. There are many down.
Blaine.
Yes. Many slain Klingons, and you can tell some of them you can tell are Gowry's men, but a lot of them are Gom'rok's men.
Okay.
And you're navigating because you know the symbol for Klingon for bridge. You're on the same level as the bridge, so you don't have to do anything crazy.
Okay.
And as you round the corner to get down the last like corridor to the bridge, you see this when you look down the corridor.
So that's a lot. Okay.
So the baldy, tall Klingons are the enemy Klingons. The ones that look more normal on the right hand side are not Gomrok's men, basically.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're Dagor's men or Gowry's men. You just
But
know that
they're
they're not
friendly.
Gomrok's. So what would
Okay.
you like to do?
Is there like a so I'm rounding the corner or
You're
it's
just
just
like as you turn to come down the corridor, you can hear as you get closer, you're hearing metal and you're just hearing like absolute chaos as you get
okay.
closer. And then as you rounded like the edge, you come to like this other part of this hallway where you're kind of like boxed, you're boxed in to
Okay.
turn up the corridor. That's what you see.
So I want to hide behind the this part, and this is something that I've seen because I've been watching Star Trek lately.
Okay.
Is I would like to, I don't know if Knightley probably can't do it because she doesn't have good engineering, but if I could like remodify the, if that's the right word, the my phaser to just like be even more unhinged.
You can certainly turn your phaser up to like 10, and you would basically, when you would fire, would just, it would be like a giant, like lightsaber.
Okay,
It would be just like you would just make holes through stuff.
cool. Because I don't want to be like, you hit him, but he didn't go down. Like, I just want to
Okay.
obliterate, like, if I can.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
okay, so I will turn my thing all the way up.
So you're at max. You've never turned your laser weapon that high.
What an honor. Oh. Okay, so I want to hide behind the wall with
Yep.
my thing and then like lean out and take
Okay.
out like
So
1 in 10.
security control, difficulty 2.
Okay, I have one success.
Okay. It's just a minor action, and I don't think it's too much of a cheat. So I'll say that you minor actioned aim so you can re-roll your missed dice.
Okay.
Because you're being very deliberate, so I don't think that that's a huge cheat. Just know that if you say I'm aiming, you can re-roll a die.
Okay, so I got it.
Cool.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you,
So,
benevolent game master.
so what? So you take a peek at this thing. You see this absolute like insane chaos happening down the corridor, and you're like, absolutely not. You put your back up against the wall. You turn the laser weapon, and you're like literally like scraping the paint on the laser weapon because like it's never gone that high. Like you're literally like breaking the seal of the limits, and you
Nice.
turn back and you just try to, you pretty much just hope that there's no good people on the left hand side, and you fire.
Okay.
And you fire, and you just watch as this like just in a bright intense ray just illuminates the entire corridor, and you just watch the first like 2 Klingons that it hits, they literally just like incinerate, and then other Klingons are just brutally dealt with.
Okay.
And you
Unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it had to come to this.
and you see the other Klingons on the right hand side that look more traditional to the ones you're used to seeing. And they look and they see you, and they're all like, ah! And they just start running down the hallway faster, and they're so ready. And they get right in the meat of it. So you could fire again, but the chances of you hitting people from Gowry to Dagor's ship is very high. So either
Yeah, I
you're
only
going to have
want
to
to
You're going to have to close the gap, or you can maybe bypass them and get your way to the bridge.
Okay. Yeah, I only want to fire on that high like when I know and I have like an actual shot. So let me just advance down the hallway, and if I have to shoot, I'll shoot, and if I can just get past to get to the bridge, I will.
Yeah, honestly, because of what you did, the Gore and Gowry's men can basically just create a Klingon wall and just hold the remaining ones that are still in the corridor because you kind of
Okay.
did some nasty work to them and their numbers have dwindled by quite a number. So they just let you go by.
Sick. All right, then I proceed on down to the bridge.
So you get to the entrance of the bridge and you can hear like struggle, you can hear like fighting, like struggle fighting. It's hard to hear it over the chaos behind you, but you can hear it. And as you're coming up into the back part of the bridge, so you're coming in from like the captain's chair faces this way and you're coming from behind it. So you see the back of the captain's chair.
Okay.
And it is the bridge of the Kokir. It is dimly lit, and a lot of the consoles here are like sparking and like there's smoke and like stuff. Like this ship has taken serious damage. It's seen
Okay.
some better days, and you catch closer to like on one side of the front part near the view screen. You can see Gowry and Gom'rok, who you put together you assume is Gom'rok.
Okay. Because
You've
right, I've
never
never met
seen
him
they,
before.
you've never seen him.
Okay.
And is on his back on the ground, and he has a blade, and he is holding back a blade from Gom'rok, and it seems like Gom'rok has the major upper hand,
Okay.
and it seems like Gowry is not doing well.
Okay. So I would like to step forward
Okay,
and aim and shoot at Gom'rok.
okay,
Is there anybody else on the bridge? Any
nope,
other?
nope.
Okay. Yeah. Let me.
Not that you can see, at least. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna use it at the same setting?
Yep.
Okay, so roll security control difficulty 3 just because it is a little close to Gowry and
Mm.
you could hurt him maybe a
Do I
little.
need to turn the setting down a little bit?
You could, I'm just saying it's a hefty thing that you're doing.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt Gowry. God forbid I roll a 20.
Because they're like he's like this and he's like
Yeah.
this. So they're
All
just
right.
close to each other.
Well, let me turn it down to like a 7.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is it still 3 or?
No, I'll let it be a 2.
Okay. I would like to buy a dice. Okay, I did it. I have 2 successes.
Okay. So you hit him. And he's like he stumbles against the wall like near the view screen, and Gowry does he kind of starts to get up, but he doesn't get up really at all.
Okay.
And Gom'rok turns and looks at you, and he says, "Starfleet, how did you get on my bridge?"
Well, your former transporter chief made a grave mistake and he paid for it, and now you're about to do the same.
And so as you say that, he kind of gives you this like disgusted kind of face. You see Gowry take his batleth that he has and sweep underneath his leg to like drop Gom'rok onto the ground.
Okay.
And obviously he tumbles right over. He was very successful. He had four successes. So Gom'rok goes down hard. He smashes into a console, and Gowry says, "Paquis, to me, come here."
So I do. I run to him.
And he says, "Here, finish him with my batleth."
I would be on it.
And he hands you his batleth. And let's have you roll medicine, reason, difficulty 1.
2 successes.
So if you have any empty spaces, you can have that. And you look at Gowry, and he's likely near death. But there's a chance that if you deal with Gom'rok fast enough that you might be able to save Gowry.
All right, now I'm very angry and I'm going to take delight, just absolute childlike wonder, using my uncle's batleth to end this man's miserable life.
So Gom'rok, he brushes away some of the like blood from hitting the console, and he gets back to his feet, and he holds onto his blade, and he looks at Gowry, and he looks at you, and you're looking him right in the eye. You're meeting his stare with your stare, right? And you hear from the ground behind you, on the ground, you hear, "She is Carmack's daughter. You will never defeat House Dokai. And we cut back to Mike on the ground.
No.
And go ahead, Mike. You are rolling security control difficulty 3 with everybody helping you out.
Yep. I'm going to buy another dice again.
Okay.
I got another 3.
Awesome. So sadly, neither of them were able to help you, but you did get that. Take out 3 Klingons. And then the Klingons are going to fire back, because that's what they like to do in this. Okay, so they don't get anybody on the barricade.
Can I tell about how many are left?
Yeah, I can have you roll that in between once I've resolved this. So no, they miss. You don't take any stress. So if you roll security insight difficulty 1, I can tell you about how many are left.
I got 1 success.
So you kind of scan what you've done and how many are left standing, and you assume maybe like close to 20 are left.
Okay. I'm going to say we took out 13 so far, so it's like...
Yeah. All right, let's have you roll again. Let's have you do another same thing, control security difficulty 3.
Just because it's been helping, I'm going to buy another dice.
Okay. Yep.
I got 3 successes.
Awesome. So Tobias gives you another success. So that's 6. So that brings you down. It gets rid of 4 Klingons. And now we'll have you do it one more time. This time, though, it's difficulty 2.
Okay. I'm going to drop down to 2 dice.
Let me also roll for the Klingons. I forgot to do that.
Yep.
So you take no stress, but you hear 2 colonists get hit down at the barricade. Okay, now you can go.
I got 2 more successes.
Okay, so nobody from the barricade helps, but Tobias got 2 successes.
Nice.
So that is 7. So that is 5 Klingons.
Very nice.
My man.
That makes 11 left.
It's close to 11. Yep. Close to 11. All right, let me roll for the Klingons, and then we'll cut back to Knightley on the bridge. Okay, so our hat take 1 stress.
Okay.
And you hear 2 more shouts from the barricade. Okay, so Knightley, you are stood face to face with Gom'rok. Now, I'm not putting you in the position to fight him hand to hand if you don't want to. It's just what was presented to you. So now it's your turn to fight this Klingon.
I'd like to try do it with hand to hand. I mean, I know I'm definitely not as strong as this guy, but he's also weakened.
He is weakened. Yep.
I do have a talent of tough and of the Brack Lol, the Klingon thing.
Yep.
So do you think I have a better chance of doing better in hand-to-hand combat since I am half Klingon?
Okay.
So I think it would be a good poetic justice for me to do that way. Part of me wants to just blast him with my laser weapon and be like, eat it, but
Sure.
But I think I'll try to do it the ceremonial way. Embrace my Klingonness.
Yep. Okay, so you can get the first strike. It's security daring. So it's difficulty 2.
Okay. I think I would like to use my value. You get what you work for, not what you wish for. Because Knightley wants everybody to be protected from Gom'rok's people and what they're going to do. And Starfleet was very much like, no, we're not going to get involved in that. And I'm like, no, I want peace and I want people to be safe. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can take it.
Okay.
So it is going to be difficulty 3. I forgot so it's difficulty 3.
Okay.
So you just have to get 1 success with your value.
Okay. So I think now's a good time to buy a dice with one of our things left.
Okay.
I have 1 success. I have a 9.
So you do another 3 to him. I mean, his armor is singed from the laser shot. He is not feeling amazing. And, you come down on him, and you can see that, with fighting Gowry and getting shot at and now getting the swing, his back is a little bit against the wall, a little bit.
Okay.
So you are making some leeway. He doesn't seem like he's going to give up anytime soon, but he also doesn't seem like he's at his peak potential.
Okay.
So now roll me 2 d20s and tell me how many successes you get within your security daring range.
1.
Okay. So now he's going to take a swing at you. Okay. So he takes a swing at you. So he comes down, he goes to swing it, and you barely catch the edge of it, and you take 4 stress.
Jeez.
Because the blade almost cuts into your face of you trying to hold back the strength of his blow.
That's not good.
Just keep track of where you're at.
Yeah, sounds so good.
Okay, now roll another.
Okay.
Security daring difficulty. I will tell you, difficulty 3.
Okay. I'll have to buy a dice. How many momentum do we have left?
We have two.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Holy crap. I have 2 successes. Just barely.
How many do you have?
2.
So you need 3.
Wait, 9. Wait, hang on. My brain isn't working. 9, 10, 13. I have 3 because I have an 8, a
Oh,
9, and 11, and I needed 13. My brain was taking only the daring number of 9.
Your
perfect.
brain wasn't mathing tonight.
It was my brain almost never maths.
Yeah, so you are hurting him. You are
Okay.
whittling him down. You can see that you're weakening him, but he still is standing.
Okay.
And now you roll 2d20 for the same range. Security daring.
2.
Okay. So he takes another swing at you
Okay.
and he does another 4 stress.
To me.
Yep.
Good. So I have 2 left.
So your arms are getting like really weak from like fighting him. You're just
Okay.
not used to this level of combat. Like
Yeah.
you've never been in this type of situation at least to this intense of a level.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna set aside my pride and take out my phaser weapon.
Okay, so you're relatively close quarters. So if you fail, he's probably going to disarm you.
Okay.
So that's security control difficulty 3, and
Okay,
that's
so I'll buy a dice.
okay.
So we have 1 momentum left.
Yep.
I only have 1.
So you pull like the batless to the side, and you pull your laser weapon out, and you shoot, and he just moves out of the way, and it misses him completely.
Okay.
And now he's gonna go. So now roll security daring 2 dice.
You're gonna kill Knightley tonight, apparently.
We'll see.
Well, I rolled a 9 and then I rolled a 20. Does that
Perfect.
count as a?
That's a complication.
Oh my God.
So he rolls. Basically, you're gonna take an injury,
Okay.
which will make you go down. Because the only way to avoid injury is to, I think, spend 2 momentum.
Okay.
We only have 1 momentum.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, you get hit and you go right down to the ground
Okay.
and you're out. Okay, so we'll go back to our hat on the planet.
Okay.
It's back to you. Security control, difficulty 2.
I'd like to use a value of safety of friends come first.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So you just whatever you're rolling is momentum.
Yep, I figured now's a good time as any to use it.
Yeah,
And I have 2 successes.
awesome. So that's 2 momentum. And let's see. So 5 more Klingons go down. And you can tell that there's just a few left. Just barely. Just
Yeah,
a
there's a handful left now.
just a few stragglers. So you can roll security control difficulty 2 one last time.
I'm gonna buy 1 dice, so I'm rolling 3.
Okay.
See if I can just kind of finish this. I got 3 successes.
Okay, so you get 1 momentum back and you get 1 extra. So with that, not only do you fill the track, you have 1 remaining, you have 1 spillover, which I'll translate to another momentum.
Okay.
And you feel very confident from your position on the building that there are no more Klingons in this area. Like, there might be other Klingons on the planet, but there's no more disruptor fire, there's no more battling, like, there's nothing happening at this location.
Right.
So, yeah, it's up to you what you want to do.
So at this point, I would start heading toward the shuttle so I can get up there and try and figure out what's going on. Because I would understand that, things are progressing okay, but at the same time, I don't really know what's going on up there.
Yeah. So
And we have 2 momentum. I know the captain is down and out.
Yep.
If we give up those 2 momentum, can we have her uncle be at least in semi-fighting form to try and step in for her?
Yeah, you can totally pay the cost to get him on his feet. You're just not going to know what that'll do to him in the long run.
Right. But with the captain down, and it's him fight or they both die.
Yep.
So I'll spend the 2 momentum, so we're down to 0, and I'm going to I'm going to ask if he wants to go with me to the shuttle or if he's going to stay and try and figure things out down here, because there were like 4 or 5 people who got hit,
Yeah.
I would
I
ask,
think
is he staying or is he going with me? Because I'm heading up.
I think I'll go with you, Commander. You know, friends together kind of a thing. It's better than just you going up there by yourself. Obviously, there's people down here at the barricade that can get the wounded to my wife and get them taken care of. So I think I'll go with you.
Okay, let's go.
So you two make your way to the shuttle. It's not that far away from where the battle was happening, and you begin your journey from the surface to what ship are you going towards?
I'm thinking about heading to a friendly ship
Okay.
so I can at least get an assess, because I don't want to head toward an enemy ship with a possibility of being fired upon.
Okay. Yeah. So you just head towards the Qel'Thoq because that's where the shuttle came from and that's where you were housed. So makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you begin your journey to that. That's going to take a little bit of time. We'll cut back to the bridge and we cut to Gowry coming to his feet and just as Gom'rok goes to kind of swing a deadly fatal blow to Knightley, Gowry sticks the bat'leth that was in Knightley's hands in between Knightley and the blade. And they begin to fight.
My thinking is I want to head toward a friendly ship. Then, if possible, they can beam me to the enemy ship.
Yep, 100%. So Gowry takes a swing at Gom'rok, but Gom'rok is just still a little bit stronger, still a little bit faster, still a little less injured, and he's able to block Gowry's attack. So now we'll attack on Gowry. So Gom'rok comes down with the blade, and Gowry is able to hold it, but he's not strong enough to like deflect it away. And Gom'rok pushes Gowry like up against the wall and kind of like pins him there. And they're kind of like struggling to get dominance over each other. Let me do one more for Gowry. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see what Gom'rok got. Yeah, that's good. Gowry got 4 successes out of 2.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I'll give you guys 2 momentum. So Gowry comes and he goes and he butts him like that and he stumbles back and he like Gom'rok's like kind of like half sits on the console that he originally like smashed his face into. And he is like heavy breathing. He's very tired. But he's not gone down, but he's very tired. And Gowry is actively bleeding. He is very injured.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 2 Klingons, the 2 heads of the houses, take a deep breath because both of these Klingons are at their last bit of thread. And they collect themselves, and as they're staring at each other, and Gowry is looking at the captain and Gom'rok, we'll cut back to Arhat. You're flying into the shuttle bay onto the Qel'Thoq. You did not get any like radio transmission of like the Qel'Thoq like acknowledging your approach.
So there's a good chance that people are either injured or not here.
So you fly in and you dock the shuttle into its bay where its normal thing goes.
Yep.
And now you take it from here.
I would go to the main areas where people normally are, because I would assume there's at least someone still on the ship.
So you go up to the bridge. You don't pass
Yeah.
anybody in the hallways. And you go to the bridge, and there is one Klingon on the bridge, and he is in the captain's chair. And you can see he's like looking at material on a pad. That's all that's on the bridge.
First question, what was a passenger's reaction to the Klingon ship?
Yeah, sure, good point. So you step out of the shuttle into the thing, and you could see that Tobias is like actively alarmed to be on the Klingon ship, but he also kind of seems like resolute. He's very comfortable with you, and he really isn't letting you get more than like 2 steps away from him. He's very close to your side, and you can tell that he is very nervous and very like concerned about where he is, but also he's giving you vibes of like he's not going to let that overwhelm him.
And he's trusting me because I brought him here.
Correct. So yeah, so he is like your shadow. I mean, he is like as close as he can get comfortably to you as you progress to the bridge and see this Klingon sitting in the chair.
I'd first turn to Tobias and say, "It's okay. I'm going to talk to him."
Okay, yeah.
So I walk up to him and I ask, "Where is the captain? Where is everybody?"
He says, Commander, everyone has boarded the Qel'Thoq except for a few of us to keep the ship running. There's only a handful of us left on here. I take it from you being here on the ship that we have success on the planet?
Yes, we took out as many as we could find down there. I came up to try and figure out what's going on. Can you tell me where the captains are on the enemy ship?
The last report I had was Captain Gowry was on the Kokur's bridge and de Gore was somewhere else on the ship. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, have someone do a scan and get a general idea of where everybody is. I'm going to head down to the transporter. I want someone down there. If you make everything happen ASAP, there'll be a canister of Red Bat in it for you.
That is your famous Andorian meal?
Yes, it is. The one
Ah,
everyone seemed to fight over.
yes. Delicious. And he goes over to the thing and he says, "What do you want me to specifically scan for?"
I want to know where all the captains are on the ship.
I can scan for Captain Gowry's communicator.
That'd be fine, because most likely that's where everything will be happening.
Okay. So he doesn't get like an amazing scan because of like the radiation on the Kokura and stuff from the weapons, but he can estimate it feels like he's getting ping from the captain's communicator at still on the bridge. It's not 100%, but it seems like it.
Okay. I would tell him that I'm going to head down to the transporter with Tobias here and have someone meet us there to get us over to that ship.
Yes, transporter chief is there in the room, so no worries.
Good. And I would turn Tobias around, pat his back, and kind of push him out of the room.
Yes. Yeah, he just kind of is just standing there, like with his mouth kind of quarter opened and just like looking at literally everything. And then you come up and he's just like, okay, all right. Like he just kind of is like, he's just overwhelmed by what he's seeing. So you get down to the transporter room. It's not that far. And the door's open and there's a Klingon standing there. And he says, Amanda, you're back aboard.
Yes, and I'm heading out. I want over to the bridge. Get me in the safest spot you can find close to the bridge of the other ship.
Okay. Both of you are going?
Yeah, the two of us are heading over.
Okay. So
Because
you
I don't
step
trust leaving Tobias here.
So the two of you step up, and he says, "I will do my best."
We do have 2 momentum if you need an extra dice.
So he says, "I'm having difficulty locking on. Maybe I can try again, and I'll spend 1 momentum to roll again. I think I have an idea of how to do it to cut through this radiation." Okay, yeah. So he doesn't give you back any momentum, but he got enough successes. And so again, now you are seeing what you assume Knightley saw, which is this red white curtain washes over you.
Yep.
And then within a second or so, it unwashes and you're in this smoky, like acrid smelling area where dimly lights. You can tell that you're on a bridge. And as it's coming together, let's have you roll security insight, difficulty 0, because you're constantly watching.
Okay. I have 2 successes.
So you get 2 momentum. So what you see immediately between where you beamed in, you see councils sparking and like fizzing and smoke pouring out of them. And you can see councils, a Klingon's captain's chair, and then a view screen. And then you see facing you with their back at the wall is a very bloody and a very injured Gowry holding a batleth very close to him, and he is actively struggling to stay upright. He's like using the batleths to stay standing. And you can see the back of another Klingon. He's like propped against a console, and he is looking at Gowry, and he is breathing heavily. And then what you see below to the right of this other Klingon that you only see from the back, you can see like a Drake uniform, like arm, like an elbow, and that's all you see.
Am I close enough where I could go close combat, or am I still a slight distance away where it would take movement to get over to them?
It's gonna take it's so you could do a major move action and then do a minor action. That's what you could do in this turn.
Debating on that, or if I'm just going to open fire.
Can do that too.
Because if I realize that the Klingon with his back to me is the enemy,
He
then
definitely doesn't look like a Klingon. You look the best because all of Gowry's and Dagor's men have hair. This Klingon does not have hair. He's bald.
Yep.
He looks very similar to the Klingons you saw on the planet.
I'm thinking about using my quick to action and just basically opening fire on him to drop him.
That's totally fine, yeah. So that's going to be difficulty 3, but it's security control to shoot at him. Do you want Tobias to shoot at him too, or do you want him to assist you?
I want him to assist me.
How would he assist? Let's see.
Could have him yell to get the guy to turn around.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good.
And I'm going to buy a dice, use 1 momentum.
Okay.
I got 3 successes.
Awesome. So you have 4 with Tobias, and it was difficulty
3.
3, so you get 1 success or 1 momentum back.
Yep.
And what is your security number?
My security number is 5.
Okay. So let's see what happens. Ooh, this worked out really well. So you do that. What setting did you have it on?
This was a kill because I was using the Klingon rifle. They don't have stun.
So you shimmer in and you scan the room. You see that setup. You catch that Klingon. You kind of make eyes with Gowry, maybe. You kind of gauge, like, okay, I see what's going on here. And Tobias is like, he says something like, "Hey, Klingon!" And Gom'rok turns to see what's happening, but he doesn't turn, he doesn't take his eyes completely off of Gowry. And as he does, your laser weapon just cleanly takes him out. And we'll make it very satisfactory without going into it that it's painful. We'll just put it that way. And he clutches himself and collapses over. And then you watch Gowry, he like slumps to the ground. Not like in a bleh, but he just kind of like sits down onto the ground.
I would come over. I would kind of go around, but go to them and assess both him and the captain to figure out if they're still alive and how bad they are.
Yeah. So when you come closer, Gowry is pointing at the captain and he's like, "Harper, check on Harper." And so you come around and you can't quite tell, but there's a pool of blood and you can kind of tell that she's injured in some manner in the front of her. You just can't see it because she's down on the ground.
Yeah. Do I need to roll to assess the 2 of them?
Well, you can pick one.
I would check out the captain first, just because
Yeah,
he's responsive.
Yes.
And I do have a focus of field medic.
Awesome. You look at the captain. You can do medicine daring, difficulty 2.
I'm going to buy a dice.
Yep. Okay.
I have 3 successes.
Okay, so you get 1 momentum back, and you are able to rouse Knightley to her feet. She still is injured, but she has a big cut up here in her collarbone, but she's standing.
Lucky.
Okay.
That nick that just barely missed my arteries.
Yep. Okay, so what would you guys like to do now?
I'm going to first make sure Gom'rok is out.
Okay, so you go over and you look at him, and let's have you roll security reason difficulty 1.
Okay. I got 2 successes.
So 1 momentum back, and as you're looking at him, you can see that like Klingons are very resilient and they have many ways to not collapse and be killed, but you get the impression that this Klingon is, even if you gave him medical attention, he's not gonna get back up.
I would look at Gowry and ask, "Are you satisfied with this?"
And then he looks at Gom'rok and he says, "He is dead?"
Not completely, but he's basically done.
And he says to Knightley, "Take that Detang in your hand and finish him."
And I'll say, no, I want the batleth.
And he laughs and he very like weakly gestures his batless out.
Take it down. And I walk over to Gom'rok and I just sink it right into. Yeah. It's like a slow and deliberate, like.
I see.
Yeah.
So do medicine fitness difficulty 1.
Medicine fitness, huh? 1.
So yeah, in pretty much 1 motion, slow, you accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Thank you.
And
My poor father must be horrified.
Tobias hasn't moved from the back of where he beamed in. He can only make out some things that he's seeing. So as Gowry laughs, he starts to kind of like spit up blood.
Can we transport down to the planet?
You can certainly try. You would have to specifically talk to the transporter chief.
How close are the transportation pads from on the ship we're on?
You would have to drag him quite a distance. Let's have one of you first roll medicine daring to stabilize him, because he is actively dying.
I'll roll, because my medicine daring is a 12.
Okay. Yep.
I got 2 successes.
Awesome. So you stabilize him to the point where he's not actively dying, but like he needs medical attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you want to happen, Captain? What do you want to happen?
Is there other medical people on the planet? Like my mom's not the only one, right?
There's a couple other people, but there's not a lot.
Plus, they're kind of overwhelmed with how many people got injured on the planet.
I think I'm gonna do the really selfish thing to do and beam her up here to help him.
Okay. So tell me what you're doing.
So I want to contact her and tell her to bring her med kit and come up here and
So she doesn't have a communicator on her
what? Why would you not have a communicator?
because she's on a colony.
You don't have to talk to people when you're on a colony.
Well, yeah, but like you don't have a means to talk to her.
Okay. So I can't, how would I even lock onto her then? Just by,
You can't because the transporter on this ship is damaged, and the people in the other ships have no clue who they would be looking for.
so I can't do this, is what you're saying to
You
me.
can. It's just that you just gotta do the chain of events.
Explain to me what the chain of events are.
So you haven't talked to Dagor, so you don't know anything. You don't have like fresh information.
I can contact him, surely.
You can make a broadcast to the transporter room.
Okay, let me do that.
You broadcast to that room, and within a few seconds, he comes onto the comm.
Okay, and I'll say, what's the status of the transporter?
He says, "I believe I can do one or two transports. It's heavily damaged."
Okay. So it would be easier for me to transport Gowri to the med bay on the planet.
Possibly. So Tobias hears you and Arhat kind of going back and forth on what to do, and Tobias is like, "If you're gonna beam him down, Harper, like I can go down with him."
The thing is I also need medical attention.
He's patched it up, like he's tied
Yeah.
parts of clothing
Okay.
to it, so you're not like you're bleeding, but it's not like hemorrhaging.
So why don't we have Gowri, myself, and Tobias beam down?
Are we all going to head toward the transporter?
So who's going
Gowri, myself, and Tobias.
to the transporter?
Are you able to walk on your own?
Yeah. I mean, I assume so. I'm standing and
It's not impossible. You would not walk fast.
Because if Tobias helps me, the two of us can help him to the transport pad, and
Yep.
and he'll be on a pad, which lowers the difficulty.
okay. All right. Yeah, let's do that then. So what do I need? Two dice? Two?
Well, Dagor's gonna roll, so you're giving him however many dice you
I'm
want.
giving him. Okay, so whatever then. The difficulty is two.
3 if you're bringing him to the pad.
Okay. Give him three dice then.
So spend
Yeah.
one momentum.
Yeah.
And so you get to the back of the bridge doors and you go, and you're seeing mostly Gowri and Dagor's Klingon men who are making sure none of the other Klingons are awake. And
Mhm.
they're doing a good job at that. And so you come through and they see you, and you have this weird moment, Harper, where they're like, "Captain!" And they all start rushing, but they pass you. And
Yeah.
you have this moment of you think they're talking to you, but
Yeah.
they're not talking to you.
No.
And then they say, "What has happened, Captain? What has happened?" And Gowri tells them that you slayed Gom'rok. And he kind of like, because you're holding him, so Arhat and Tobias are like propping him, and he
Mhm.
kind of gives like a arm shoulder squeeze to Arhat, like a knowing squeeze to Arhat. But he says that Knightley defeated
Sure.
Gom'rok. And they're like, "Ah, yeah." And they're all like yelling and stuff. And then they're like, what is happening now? What are we doing? More. What can we do? And Gowri says, "I believe they're trying to take me to a medical facility to heal me of these wounds so I can live to fight another day." And they say, "Yes, lead the way." And so now, like, 6 Klingons are just like also like helping. They're helping you, Knightley, and following the rest of you to the transporter room. So you get in there. You can tell that Dagor has taken things from the down to Klingon in here and like patched himself up very haphazardly with just things from that Klingon to keep him from actively bleeding. And he says, "I take it we have taken the bridge." And they're all like cheering. The Klingons are all like, "Yes." And they're singing. They're all singing, like, as they get into the room, they're all singing songs of the songs,
Yeah.
these things. And they get the 4 of you up to the transporter pad. And
Okay.
they all stand, and they're all of them, and even Dagor are all chanting, "Long live Knightley! Long live Knightley!" And Dagor punches in a couple of things. And with that, 3 successes, and you beam down to the planet in the
Okay.
medical area where your mother is actively triaging and healing injured colonists. So that red blanket, shimmering blanket, encases all of you. And the next thing you know, you're come out and you're standing in this slightly chaotic tent, like kind of almost like a greenhouse med bay kind of a thing. And you can see that like they've got things relatively underhand, but it's still kind of an uphill battle. What would you like to?
I would like to call for my mother.
So you call for her. She says, "Harper, what?"
I need emergency medical help.
Oh. And so she takes you like over to like the table,
Oh, and I'm like, no, Mom, Gowry.
and she's like, "Gowry, him?"
Yes, him. He's dying.
I would turn and look at Harper's mother and say, he helped to secure your colony. He fought on your side against the Klingons that were attacking you.
So let's have Harper roll command presence, difficulty 2, and let's have you also roll command presence, Mike, but you're doing an assist roll, so only 1d20.
Okay. I got 2 successes.
Awesome.
I got 1 success.
So you get 1 momentum back, and she can't really refute your guys' logic. She understands where you're coming from. She hesitates quite heavily at first, but who is she to not help the man who, helped her husband and her friends stay alive. So she brings him over to the table and begins treating him. And I'll say generally, this is a good place to end. And then I'll kind of like go over some things as time is passing. So once Gowry stabilizes, and Dagor and everybody, and they fully take over the Kokir. They all go back to their correct ships, and you're tended to, Captain. Let me roll that to. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay. So you are. So it's gonna take about 3 hours for you to be healed.
Okay.
And it takes it's going to take Gowry almost like a day and a half to be like basically having the proper medical treatment so that he doesn't reopen anything or succumb to anything or have any infections.
Sure.
So let's say a full day and a half passes. Everybody is like collecting themselves. They're properly assessing the land, going through. They don't find any more Klingons on the surface. Colonists go and inspect and dismantle the outposts. They dismantle the Klingon barricades. Like they're cleaning things up. The Klingons in orbit are going through and like actively checking bodies and checking rooms and doing a clean sweep of the Kokir, and this is what they do. So after a full day and a half, what Dagor and Gowry come to tell you is that the javelins were destroyed and that what they want to do is to convince the Klingon High Council of that House Vadij, which is Gom'rok's house, that they are dishonorable. They are not a house to be trusted. And they have proof of it now from this. And what they want to do is tow the Kokir back to Kronos and present it to the Klingon High Council as proof, and then essentially bring honor back to but mainly House Dokai. Mainly. Dagor's house wasn't really at odds, it wasn't really in a dishonorable state in the sense of where Dokai was. So that's what they want to do. You also get from your family here that it's going to take them a month and a half to probably get back on their feet. So Gowry basically says it might be close to that or a little less for us to tow the Kokir to Kronos and come back. So do you just want to stay here with your family and like bring the colony back up to speed?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that'll mean that you'll be here for approximately 46 days.
Okay.
Do you guys want to like hash that out, or you guys are just fine with it?
Arhat can decide what he wants to do.
I would want to stay with the captain, but I would have a conversation with the 2 captains about how they're going to proceed and get a general idea of the process.
So they both explained that the 2 ships are going to tow the Kokir back to Kronos. They're then going to provide the database that's on the Kokir to show the intelligence they've gathered that this is what they were doing, is that they were using these javelin type machines to attack sites and just blow up colonies really for no reason and kind of haphazardly. Like there was really no good reason to do this. But the big thing that they come across in their thing is that it seems like Gom'rok, or at least House Vidij, is working with somebody. They don't know who, but they can tell that like there is an outside source that's not from the House Vidij. They can tell
An
that.
outside entity is
Yes.
backing them.
Yes. So they're going to present all of that to the Klingon High Council, and then that will shut down any of the remaining House Vidij ships and officers and any other captains that are a part of Gomrok's forces that aren't here, and basically decommission them, make them dishonorable Klingons, and basically they become kill on sight Klingons to the Empire.
I would also ask the captain, both of them, if they need me and the captain, or if they're good with everything they have.
They don't feel like they need either of you present, and that perhaps Starfleet's presence on Kronos or anywhere near Kronos might be a disruption.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
He says they basically indicate to you that while what you did was the highest of honors, and that you will be essentially unsung heroes, like you will be heroes that will never get the accolades that you deserve. The Klingon High Council is so close-minded that they will not see your assistance as worthy of their attention.
Right.
They will just see it as the Gore and Gowry's people being too weak and needing the help of humans of Starfleet,
Yeah, I would basically head up to the ship and go get all of our stuff.
Yeah.
That way the captain can stay here and be
Yeah.
with her family. I'll just grab her stuff, I'll grab my stuff, and I will hand out a couple canisters of Red Bat.
And so, as you're handing those things out and going back to the transporter pad to beam away, as the doors open to the transporter pad, you can hear in the hallways, you can hear them be singing like, "Our hat, he brings us delicious red bat." And they're just they're singing it as you walk into the transporter room and you beam down. You guys have 100% had your backs against the wall. You came really close to
The closest to death Knightley's ever come.
perhaps losing it all.
Yep.
And now you are going to be away from the Drake for a very long time.
Yep.
But they've lost a couple people here on the colony. Just happened. Not much that could have been done but that. So two young, hardworking people helping out will definitely help this colony get back up to a close approximation to what they were at before the Klingons invaded. And you can at least prepare them to take down the javelins. They can't quite be approached. The radiation is still a little too high, but eventually you can teach them how to dismantle it when it's an appropriate time to approach and dismantle.
Nice.
That
sounds good.
Unless there's anything else you guys want to do, that will be the end of episode 6, Embers of the Hearth.
That was a close one.
Very close. So thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it. Stay tuned. The rest of the Drake crew is going to pick up their mission 6, and these two players are going to continue in that mission as playing Nurse Ta'ana and Security Officer Jim Frank. And Tiny, yeah. We'll catch those two guys still playing those characters is when we circle back to the Drake and see what they're doing in their mission entitled Fruits of Labor.
Ooh.
So until then, bye.